hope I'm on. Here we go. Thank goodness. Oh my, yeah. You don't know what it feels like right now to be live and know that this is working. It is an incredible feeling, everybody. I have just spent the last hour working on this. There's a software that right now, if you're watching this, it's going to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Finally figured it out. So congratulations. I was probably streaming to someone randomly in China. I don't know. Could have been maybe Australia, some dude just sitting there, and all of a sudden I popped up. But I'm on now. Hey, so here's the deal. I've been wanting to start doing something like this a little bit more regularly, calling them like 8-minute Bible studies. So this is just something to kind of bring you up to speed every day, just a few minutes, a few thoughts, because this ain't passing. The craziness that is our world now, of the COVID-19 world, it ain't changing anytime soon. And so right now, what we're going to do is just try to find ways to just give you a little bit of an encouragement each day, or give you something to wrestle with or to think about. So let me just kind of show you where we're at. Because of the way things are right now, church, we have decided that we're going to go back to one service in person, and we're also going to live stream that to YouTube, and you can watch that live on Sundays. That being said, throughout the week, we're still not doing anything. We're probably not going to bring kids back until we can know that kids are going to be back for school. So following the lead of what we see around us. Now, what I want to do now is just kind of start doing this every day if I can, which is just kind of share some thoughts with you. So I've been going through this book. I've gone through this book so many times, and I love it. It's called What is a Healthy Church? And for you guys who are not big readers like me, check this out. It's tiny. It's little. It's minuscule. So just know, if you want to order it for yourself, probably really cheap on Amazon. But one of the things I want us to think about is, what do we want Royal Palms to be? Or if you're not from Royal Palms, what do you want your church to look like at the end of this shakedown? If it ever stops, who knows? What do you want it to look like? Well, really what we should want it to be is a healthy church. A lot of us might have things to say, well, I want the church to do this. At the end of the day, I want my church that will do this kind of music, or I want to offer these kind of programs, or all that kind of stuff. I got to tell you, one thing we've been talking with staff is just the world is changing. The world is different, and we don't know what it's going to look like anymore. But what we can do is start to seek the Lord and say, what do you want us to be doing? What do you want us to be focusing on now? How can we start building something now that will have impact in the future as we plan to go forward? So I've been thinking about that, and I think one of the first things is we just need to make sure that we're on track to be a healthy church. And so I love this concept that comes from this book. And if you're not familiar with the 9 marks of ministry, these guys are awesome. There's some good stuff there. But one of the things they talk about is that really, guys, it's up to you, the church member, and me as pastor that we're held accountable for this before the Lord. Now, I'm going to show you a couple things, okay? So first off, if you look over here in the book of Hebrews, right, he says, obey your leaders and submit to them, since they keep watch over your souls as those who will give an account, so that they can do this with joy and not with grief, for that would be unprofitable for you. So obviously, ultimately, as pastor, I'm responsible. I'm to shepherd you, because I have to give an account to the Lord for, have I fed my flock, right? Have I led the right way? However, that being said, you have to keep that in mind with right over here, what you see on the next side, which is if I'm right over in that window, right? So that's what we're looking for. And this comes from Galatians chapter 1. Look at what Paul says, because the church has gone off track. They're not healthy anymore. And notice what he says. I'm amazed that you're so quickly turning away from him who called you by the grace of Christ, and you're turning away to a different gospel. Not that there's a different gospel, but that there are some who are troubling you and want to distort the gospel of Christ. Now, what is fascinating here is that he's not writing a pastor. He's writing the whole church. And when he says, I'm amazed that you are so quickly that you, right here, I think that she'll pop up if I highlight that. Right there, did it highlight? Yes, you right there. That's you plural. There's like we like to say in the South, y'all. That's y'all. That means he's talking to the whole church and saying, guys, it's you. You need to keep the church on track. Why have you gone down this road? Now, you could say, well, they had these teachers and they led other people away. But Paul is saying, guys, you were supposed to keep on track. And so there's this relationship between, as we head down together, the pastor and the staff at Royal Palms, here we are leading, and we're trying to do this. But we also, at the end of the day, it's going to be the entire church body that makes up this church that's accountable to the Lord for where we're headed and how we're going to do it. And so I might just say, what does that mean for you? So what that's going to mean is, as we lead and as we seek the Lord about what's next and what to be doing, that's going to mean that you're going to get involved. Now, right now, most people can be involved pretty limitedly. I mean, that's why we're having to do this live stream, but the live stream's not going away anymore. The online church stuff is never going to go away. This is going to keep moving forward as something new for the church. But what it does mean is your being plugged into the life of the church should be more than just play. Should be more than just, okay, I watched this sermon, or I thought about it, or I'm listening to podcasts somewhere. Your involvement, how you are accountable to the Lord for this is, am I involved in the life of my church? Have I carried on the mission? So here at Royal Palms, our mission is not only to go into all the world and make disciples, right, and baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's the Great Commission, right? But really what we want to do is we want to make disciples by, we say, growing in the gospel and going together in service of Christ. So I'm going to be built up so that I might go out, okay? So the question for you is, as you're part of this, if Royal Palms is really going to be a church that is building people up and sending people out, the question is, you who attend, are you growing and are you going out? Are you growing in the church and doing things to continue to help yourselves grow? And are you going out as a witness for Christ on behalf of them? I'm not saying that you go into the streets or on the campus, hold a sign or anything like that, but are you an active witness for Jesus? Are you looking for opportunities to be a witness for Him in your neighborhood? Are you looking for an opportunity for you to be a witness at your workplace, to really begin to be the church wherever God has placed you? That being said, too, are you helping the church with this mission? So are you involved when the church is trying to enable and build people up and send them out? Are you helping equip people and send them out? So those are all things that we're going to be talking about. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to do some thoughts out of this book, great book, on some healthy church marks, and then we're just going to see where it goes. I've got some really exciting, fun things planned for Tuesdays. So look for tomorrow. I don't know what time we're going to be on yet. I'm just throwing that out there. Might be early, might be late, could be. Definitely not going to be late. You'll know why on Tuesdays. But until then, it's just going to be a little live stream. It's going to be me chilling, drinking a drink, saying goodbye right after about 8 minutes because we ain't going long. All right. Love you, church family. Talk to you guys later.